Somewhere deep in history, I'm standing on a small island, ready. Where others see a marsh, I see the foundation of the greatest empire Mesoamerica has ever seen. Welcome to Tlatoani, Aztec cities. Now, I want to say a quick thank you to Paradox Arc for sponsoring this video and trusting me to stick my spin on it. Now, in this city builder, I'll need to master the arts of an era that's lost to us all, while balancing complex supply chains and the ever-shifting demand of the gods. From humble huts to towering temples that touch the heavens, every decision matters. You're definitely ready to carve your own legacy, right? So go check out the link in the description or the pinned comment to grab the game. Now let's build. Well, here we go in Tlatwani, the Aztec cities, me and a map that I am ready for. Now, this is what we've got. So you start with a trading post and the garrison, the really basic stuff. Now, this is a really nice map because we've got loads of wood nearby, loads of outcrops for stone. And we should be able to do clay down by the water as well. There's some reeds there that we probably want to grab at some point. And there's some deer there for some hunting. So, premise of this is we're going to build it up, make it prosperous, and try and make some axe monies. Now, the game is pretty damn deep. So you'll see we've got a couple of basic goals along the side that we'll be working towards. But we have 18 adult commoners, so each one actually correlates to a certain amount of population. And then we've got Pipiltin, which are the nobles, essentially. Money, we've got the city mood along here, the symmetry. So symmetry helps your favors with the gods. And then we've got resources, so maize, timber, clay, stone, and slaves. You can turn on and off different things that you want to monitor over there. And then along the side, we've got our build menu. So I'll try and go through a little bits as we go along, but we're going to build something fantastic. And I'm going to start with this fertility overlay. And wow, this is some good fertile land here. And we will be building some canals from this to up fertility as well. And then maybe as I chop this down, this can be the start of a basic home area. But when you first start, you have different trades that you're importing automatically from the basic resources and basic foods to keep you going. But we want to be self-sufficient. So we're going to start straight away by starting some of this. And step number one is going to be the mason yard, which is used for construction and repairing buildings over distance, and they create artwork. All very important stuff. Next, we're going to need to put in some basic commoners' homes, and these are just going to go here for a moment, but they're not going to stay there. This is just so I can house the start of the people whilst we figure out what we're doing. And that is going to be figuring out via farmland. And like I say, this farmland here where it says barrens is really fantastic for fertility. So with that in mind, then we're going to start the timber yard. So I'm going to come down into industry. We're going to go into the soya, which is going to go over this way. And honestly, I'm going to start with 2. There needs to be a little bit of a gap, but that's it. I'm actually going to get rid of one of these houses. I'm going to move it over here so I can get road in. Then we're going to place the roads to come down this way. So we'll start with 2. I'll up this to 4 eventually. We're going to chop all these trees down. And then off the back of that, where's our outcrops? They're over here as well. So actually, industry-wise, we've got a fantastic spot to start all of this. And I'm going to get 2 stone quarries this way as well. You know what? I'm going to place it off the back of here. So there's our first. So we've got stone, we've got timber. We'll sort clay in a moment because that's going to have to go down this way. But each time, so the game focuses heavily around things like logistics, and that requires porter yards. So these yards themselves are what will store these goodies, right? So we're going to start with one just here, and we're going to click in, and we're going to accept all 3 of these, but we're going to accept 80 of each, right? So this is going to be storage for these main basic 3, and those resources are what are used by the mason yard as well. I'm going to hit play and let this start. And then we'll decide where we put our main housing area. And honestly, actually, if we come up here, this might be where we can do it, right? So we'll let these 3... I might relocate those now. Actually, let's just move them. Let's relocate them up here. There we go. So we'll start the housing area up here. And what we're going to need is some really basic things like a marketplace and all that. Remember, we're buying in maize right now, so it's okay to get those in. But before we go any further, I want a granary to come here. And this is going to be really good because this granary is going to take on all of this, say, meat and fish as well. And then we can start our basic farmyards down this way too. So the goal is to get everything up self-sufficient so I can turn off importing some of this stuff and we can make our own money as exports, right? And we'll go through all the farms and all that stuff around here as well. But the main thing is to get those homes up and running. Our mason yard is in, so hopefully we can start producing. And whilst that's there, we're going to come into the houses. And I'm just going to open the fertility tab a second. So, first houses then. Farmers' huts. We're going to get some basic ones in. And these aren't going to be mega amazing to start, but they are just going to be something really basic. And we're just going to hit up some maize fields. We're going to keep it 3x3 because it'll make sense with the canals later on. And I'll show you about that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this road up to there. So what we're going to do is get canals coming in through this, right? We're going to have one in the middle there and it covers both these sides. So canals are here. They can cover 3 tiles. So if I put one here, it'll cover these 3, right? If I put it in the middle, it'll cover all of these tiles all the way along, right? And we'll pull that in from down this way. So that's step number 1. Once these comes in, at least we can start to not buy in as much maize, right? That's the plan. But it's all about getting the houses in because that's how we can get people coming, and then happiness will bring them in as well. And as soon as these go in, we can then start with the well dipper and all sorts. So each thing has requirements, so we'll need a well dipper, which will provide water to said houses. And if I stick it here, it actually reaches my farms too, down the bottom there. So that's fantastic as well. And a sweeper to keep the roads clean as well, so I'll stick that in there. And that should cover the basics of this before we get going. And there are, you can rotate as well. There are different things to consider. Now, the way I see this game is very much like, basically what you need to do is satisfy each house with their needs. And then once those needs are met, they can upgrade. So you'll have security, health, education, diversion, and religion. And then you'll need to give them things like pottery, clothing, furniture, and that. And then they can upgrade, I think it's 4 times for each one. And with each one, you'll get tax revenue as well. Now, tax is another thing that we're going to be focusing on pretty early on, and that's going to be via this collector also. And this won't reach down to here, but I am going to place this a little bit further away up this way so I can start to build and lay out what is going to be a bit of a housing area up here as well, and that's going to feed the people. And you'll see our population is increasing nicely as well, which is really good, and we really need to sort it out because we've started with the ability to use loads. We have less money, right? So we'll need to, as quick as possible, stop buying in this stuff. We need timber, which is coming in via this. You see that? They're about to spend loads of money. Boom. So we've got that in. I'm going to reduce timber down to 80 so we don't buy any more. And same with maize down to 120. And then stone we can also drop. And clay will soon be able to drop as well. But you see this? The second number on the right-hand side is how many jobs are available. The left-hand side is how many adult commoners there are. So we can fit one more lot of jobs in. But the houses are in. The basic jobs are in. So these guys will have a little bit of health, which is always nice. And hopefully soon some civil service, which will fall under the educational diversion, one of them. And we're now growing our own maize also. So we're going to aim to get a few things in there. Now, next thing is going to be to bring a road, though, this way. And I'm actually going to try and connect these in. But I'm going to continue getting a whole area that's going to be for farms. And now we're going to make sure that the tiles can go like this with irrigation. And I'm going to start some fruit trees. There we go. So there's 32 is the maximum, by the way. You can just drag the fruit trees and it will build the house for you. But we're looking for an irrigation spot. So it's going to have to be here. So that's our 3 tiles again. So we'll get an irrigation bit through the middle there. What that does mean is these guys might, once we upgrade to stone, actually reach. If they don't, we'll put in the well dippers and stuff across this as well. That's 2 diverse of food. So we'll have maize and fruit trees. And we'll need a marketplace to distribute this food around as well. I'm still getting used to the menus. I have played all of the tutorials, the advanced tutorials, and a little bit of a run beforehand as well. But we'll start with a small market. And honestly, this thing can service... I want to service the people down here, but we're also going to need a market up here as well. We'll go for 2 of those because that's what's going to distribute the goods around. And as we get more jobs in, I'm going to increase timber. So that's going to be the industry we're going to go for. I think stone is the one that costs loads, though. So we're going to want to get that going a little bit more, if I'm honest. So we've got some decent outcrops here. I'm going to get up to 4 quarries, and we're going to bring that road all the way up. And then what I can do is hopefully turn down the import of stone even more. Timber will be okay as well. As we get the jobs in, I'll get that going. But we are going to need to keep pushing the houses too. You see this? They're not happy. So we're going to get a couple more commoner homes, and I'm going to do it in a block. And that should still reach. And then after that, when we get the jobs in, I'm going to look to get clay, which is via the clay pits. And these need to be close to the water. And actually, we're quite lucky here. I could do it up this way. But for clay, I think here makes perfect sense. So we'll go as close as we can to not have to push it too far. That is these two here. And that's close enough for our porter yard as well to get the clay in, which is fantastic, right? That's exactly what we're doing. All right, city mood is good, so that will keep this going. And if we click on each one, and remember, we can see what we need to do. One of the big ones, though, is tax, for sure, because that's going to offset our money. But I also want to get an alcove or two in, so we're going to go for one alcove here and one alcove down here to service these guys. Now I'm going to turn down the imports of stone again. Now that should be good. Hopefully we can push up the... I'm going to turn down maize as well so we don't keep buying that in. And we're going to hopefully offset this before it gets too bad. And then we're going to get to a point where we can export our own goods when we pull them in. But it's a case of population. And obviously I've found that basically don't grow too quick. But at the same time you can get attacked, so you also need to be careful. There's this thing I just want to show you. I'm going to turn off fertility here, but I'm going to go danger map. So it shows you where you can be attacked from. So as you can see, this green area we can't, but up here, so we'd want defenses here and potentially defenses down this way. And there we go. Now that we're not buying in, look, we are actually in a profit because we've stopped buying in goods. There'll be an import of these, but because we've stopped getting these guys in, we're able to offset that. We did that pretty quickly. Now, the aim for this run is going to be to enjoy it and just make loads of money. And I do want to say, by the way, that the game does come out on the 2nd of April in 1.0. So do check it out as well. If you like quite complex city builders, there's a whole lot of it in here. And let me just open up the Empire map too so you can kind of see what's going on. There'll be those of you that have probably been playing in early access as well, but a lot of this is new to me. But you can obviously go and trade and conquer, send spies, do negotiation, set up trade with the other settlements as well. So it's something to keep in mind. Food-wise, I also want to potentially think we have to come down here if we want to do fishing. And if we set up a fishing empire bit down here, we will have to house them. So I'm going to just slowly build one thing at a time. And I'm going to focus on making these guys happy when they can. We have too many jobs for people now, so we've got to make sure we're servicing those correctly. I just need these extra houses to come in. Oh, I forgot to say the game runs on yearly cycles mostly. You start on the first year, but it's each day. We've actually played through a year already, so it's pretty quick. But as you can see, days tick up nice and quick as well. Now, what are we waiting for in these? I think it's construction is wood. So our next jobs are on 49 and 49, so we're going to vacate and just get these in. I'm also going to get a second mason yard at some point, but I'm going to stick with trying to get to the 4 sawyers in here. So I'm going to go for a third one there and a fourth one there. And this should help get ours up. Now, each of them, if you can get guidance at the output, is better as well. So there's shrines that they'll be after. And I'll get into the religion side as I move along when I can. But this helps growth of vegetation. But you do need something like symmetry to make it better. And there'll also be symmetry that will need to happen. And symmetry is pretty self-explanatory. If you decorate in a symmetrical way, these guys like it. But getting them in doesn't hurt anyway, right? So there we go. Look, the houses did come in, so these guys will be pretty happy. Population booming up. We're almost at 1,000 already, which is very nice. And our farmers' hut's under renovation, so they're going to be upgrading very soon. And I'm going to aim to get some kind of education in for these guys. So up next is going to be the civic education for these. And honestly going to focus on these guys first. So we're going to go right in there. And then I'm just going to check in on the granary. I think we could probably get in some more farms, but we could also get in a hunter's hut. So I'm going to grab a hunter's lodge, and I'm just going to zoom out. We've got some deer around these guys, and the good thing, yeah, we don't want the red ones because they're predators. So down here is a good idea. And one thing I want to say is it doesn't need to be attached to the road. However, I am going to go ahead and attach it just here. And we're going to get some meat going as well. So I'm going to allow that in here as it already is. And honestly, easy food could be just to start fishing loads. But I definitely want to get the chili farms and that going as well. All right, let's go for some more farms. So this can go flush with this one now. I'm going to go for maybe the first chili bed here. Boom. And honestly, that'll do for now. We'll just get the one ticking up. And then we'll aim to get a shrine up for these guys. As well as a second masonry yard. And I'm honestly going to move it this way. Then I want to relocate this one over and I can fit a shrine maybe in here. I'm just looking clay that we make enough now. We make enough stone, enough clay, enough wood to actually turn off the imports or turn them down. So that'll stop us buying these. Maize we're going to keep on for a moment. And then timber, we should be able to turn that off as well. So actually, I might go to 0 because we're going to have 4 running very soon and it's nice and close. And now we've got enough to relocate this masonry building. I'll probably stick it this side actually. Oh, I don't want to do it there because they'll block. Let's go here. I want to try and keep industry separate over here. Main housing over here, then farms down there. We got quite lucky. I can go all the way along this. And there's this thing to reclaim land to the Chinampas. That's the floating garden. So we could reclaim some of this, but it does cost a little bit of wood and clay, I believe it is. Now we can export clay. So it will at most, it'll only ever trade 40 per year. And I'm going to do the same for stone. So we're going to start making some money. Now I'll leave timber off and we'll keep importing maize, but hopefully we can start making a bit of this money back. And then I think we can get in a couple more common homes and... honestly, I'm going to go 2 up here. Right, Hunter's Hut is up. However, we don't have weapons to fight at full strength. They can still hunt these, but if you get them weapons, obviously they're more efficient as well. And if you come in, so this little button up here brings you into the stocks and commerce or opens all tabs throughout the game, right? And if you tick one of these, it shows on the top bar. So what I'm going to do is tick meat, fish, chili, and fruit. Can I not do that? That's too many. Okay, we'll just do, let's take away fish for now and we'll put chili on there so we can see it. And hopefully we'll have those growing as well and we can see the gain plus loss. And I'm just basically going to see what we can sell to try and make money. Now let's continue our road along. I feel like I could probably make this a little bit more efficient, but I'm going to bring this down the back anyway and connect it into there. Poor nutrition, don't worry about that. And we're going to hope for more of these. I do want to start when we get the clay to bring in. We've got enough, I think, to start bringing in the water. So if we start the canals, the idea, remember, is 3 squares. But I'm just going to bring this way so I can kind of see it. I'm going to allow these guys to build this out. This is going to take quite some time. But if we come into, I think, there... swamps allow irrigation and can be reclaimed, but this should pull in irrigation for our farms and make these give more output, essentially. It'll take a little while to build them, but that's fine. And I love it because if you look down here on the map, it just shows you how it starts to build out, and I really, really like that. And one thing you need to be careful of these barrens is I think they can flood if you get a bad one. So you've got to be also careful of that. All right, let's focus up another farmer's hut for... ye olde chilies then. So that's going to be irrigation. So I'm just going to plan this out. Obviously I can turn these canals off for a moment. If I come into this, I think I can set this to be delayed. So we'll turn that strip off for now. I'll come out of the planning mode and we'll come back in to get that next chili thing going. Boom. And we'll go for another chili farm in there as well. Now, let me just check fertility because... this isn't so bad here if we irrigate it, right? So we minimally fertile. I could go that way, but it makes sense to keep coming and then spring off maybe this way. I can reclaim a load of this land, right? That's my thinking. I'm just going to come into the common home and it says I think they need access to religion. So it's about time we probably had a little look of that. And I'm going to go with Tlatlock in here first. The symmetry is weak, but that's okay. Stick one of you in there and then I will look for... it's average here, which isn't too bad. We're going to stick one in there as well. They aim for a little bit of a shrine of each. Each religion, they will be pretty unhappy if you're not looking after them. At the moment, they start off pretty content anyway, and that's absolutely fine. So it tells you how many temples you'll need for each and shrines. The big temples we'll get onto, but each one will improve certain things. Now, I'm going for Tlatlock because it's the vegetation growth. Wards off floods and sickness, so that's always pretty handy. Now I'm going to turn off the trade completely for these guys and we'll just keep maize going. Although it says we've got 149. Don't think I need to worry too much. Might set that to getting so they pull all the maize in constantly. Same with the meat. And there we go. I see some chilies coming across the top now. So looking pretty damn good. We're gaining more than we're losing on each. That's the main thing. Probably do with more stone, but I think it's down to us building at the moment. There is 4, so it's absolutely fine. And obviously we should get a nice boost once this shrine comes in anyway. And these guys are going to be relatively happy because of it as well. And I'll need something education-wise. I don't necessarily want to put them the school in yet, though. I could get this in down here. This will cover all these farms. Probably the right play, isn't it? Yeah, let's do that. And there we go. We're seeing it in plus again. Good. So as long as we are keeping that, we have the jobs for the people at the moment. 1,000 population now. I'm under no illusion that there are things that I won't necessarily be doing right as well. But what I will say, guys, is if you do have tips for the game as well, obviously let them be known. I have no problem with backseating in these types of games as well, because it's all about learning, right? But the main thing is trying to learn a decent little layout, really. And I feel like this, at least I found with the farm, seems to work pretty well. By placing the house first, then just stripping them out in rows of 3 so you can do your irrigation. And honestly, this, I just mishmash, give it a bash, you know, enjoy it as we go along. We can always change it as we go. These will pretty much upgrade as soon as we get these in. So I've got this one running. So let me just click this now. You'll see you get plus 6% guidance from that shrine. So effectively, all of these are getting a boost of 6% because of this one shrine here. I'm probably just going to start bringing, going to move these out a little bit. Don't know how far to go here. So we want room for another house in here, I think. There is good. And then what we'll do is get in common home. Now we are getting to a point where they're a little bit further out. And what we need to consider is whether everything reaches these, right? So the marketplace doesn't quite reach this granary, as an example. So this is not going to get everything in. It's going to lack everything. So what I'm going to do, just for the moment, is point is there. I'm going to grab the stone road, and I'm going to stone road all the way to the granary here. And this guy then should reach, and it does. Once we put the stone in, the marketplace is clear. So they'll get everything they need in there. And that'll be the good nutrition that they need, basically. Right, we have room for potentially another job. I'm trying to think whether I get another stone in. Now, the reason I say it is I think if you go for your goods, some things are worth more than others. Not sure what's worth the most, but trade-wise, I recall seeing somewhere where you could tell what's worth what. Oh yeah, and then there's festivals. I'll go through all this as well. When you go into festivals, though, you can do things for them. Problem is it costs certain things, so we can't do them yet. But once we can, you can make the gods nice and happy. See this now? He is content. So we're going to aim to get some of these other ones in to stop them feeling neglected. Yeah, I can't see where you see what's worth more then. I am going to start pottery very soon. So let's have a look then. If we get kilns, I would be in favor of just sticking them here so we kind of know. So industry, let's get 2 kilns on the go. This can accept pottery, but we'll have to turn down one of the others. So I might get a separate porter's yard for that. But we can't put them in there anyway. Yeah, that's better. Then I can get another porter's yard in here. And this porter's yard is going to be directly for clay and pottery. And we may as well go extra clay because this eventually is going to be the full clay setup, right? So what we'll need to do is make sure that can reach further up. So the trade post we can set to get, which would then reach the marketplace to get pottery. But actually, no, I'm not going to do that. So we're going to need another yard. And we could do a porter stop to get them over, but porter's yard makes more sense. I could... Actually, you know what? Let's go porter's yard here. And then I'm going to utilize this space that we've already started to bring a road up. Let's relocate this back. And we'll bring that down into there. I think we've got a ramp coming, haven't we? That will come down there. And then we'll get the porter's yard in this gap. Will that reach, actually? Either way, we should have a porter's yard by this. So I'm going to stick one by the housing there, and we'll set up that. And then we're just going to bring the road all the way around. So only certain ones can have ramps, it seems like. And then we'll go for a small porter stop that can reach both of these. I'll let those build out. This is going to go for pottery, and we're going to say yes to timber and clay. But no, we're going to say yes to timber and stone as well for repairs. So pottery is going to be accepted into this one. We could also do... See, this is where we put like furniture and cloth in. which would supply the houses, but that's going to give everything there. So this porter stop is not going to reach down there at all. With a stone road, it would reach across to there. So I can move this around. If I put the porter stop here to accept pottery, so he's going to say getting, and then he's also going to say getting. That's going to bring it into these. And then this one, I'm going to relocate. And then we're going to upgrade the stone. And that should then allow all of these to do what they need to do. And that's nice that it goes into stairs, actually. A little bit of work, but that's going to be logistically basically get our pottery from here over to our main housing. We can also do the same across to this one. However, it should be covered. If I say pottery in here, I could turn down clay as an example and put clay into that one. And then we'll upgrade these stone roads too, and the farms. I don't know if they require actually small cottage. What are their needs? Yep, pottery as well. So we'll get that in and that should cover it. And that should form the basis of our mini setup to get them up a little bit anyway. And then as these trees chop down, they will grow back, but I will be taking over some of them with extra stone quarries. So I'm going to go for... Ooh, if I can get... Is that other stone? Do you want to keep it all centralized, if I'm honest? Those stone quarries over here makes perfect sense. I'm going to get 2 more. Now, our jobs, we're still going to wait. 1,100. I'm also going to need some more houses as these fill up. So we're going to continue getting these along. Now, I just want to point out we've already been in 3 years now as well. It's only a small little settlement, but it's still my little settlement, man. And it's pretty chill. I'm just chilling, just enjoying it, slowly but surely trying to keep everything good. So we've got strong symmetry, which is nice. The more we keep building around these, the better that symmetry will be. And I'm going to get another shrine in this area. So that's going to be one of my next ones. So that's the war. God of Earth. Wealth and riches to harvest. I'm going to go for one of these. Strong symmetry. We'll get one in there. And that should help these guys then, because that's the other one here, isn't it? I'm just looking. I don't think our canal is quite there yet. So I'm going to go a bit further. I'm not sure if that will bring it in. Although I should probably just cancel it and see if that one does it enough. Now I'm just building this out. You'll see there's extra houses coming in. I'm just making sure we've got room. They're not quite that happy. It says they're pleased, but no new people quite coming in yet. I just need this to finish off. The pottery will hit this, and then all of these houses will have plenty of room. And once we're done with this, I am going to up the food side of things. And I feel like I could probably do that already, actually. And that did work. So our canals are in. All of these are going to be boosted, look. So that is really good. 2.4 chilies per year from each farm. 3.9 maize per year too. So we're going to go a little bit further and get in some more fruit trees now. And I'm going to bring this all the way over. I'm going to go fruit trees times 2. This is going to cover absolutely everything. And then we're going to continue the canals through here as well. And then up next, we'll probably do chilies, but that should be good. This is a pretty nice farm setup already, if I'm honest. So it's really good. I just need stone to come in. So I've set on a quick purchase order to get those going. And then once this is rolling with fruit, which I need to double check again, by the way, I'm going to turn off meat and put fruit on. I'm just going to see, because we've put in those extra fruit trees. This should be pretty good. We're just going to need some more jobs to come in, which is fine. Now I'm going to turn off the maize trade now because we're pretty good. So we're not selling anything. We're gaining the food we need. We should be fine. So I need to get the doctor in ASAP. There's one thing I neglected, but we should be all right to get it going. I want the herbs from the garden and then that being sorted. So we're going to go for a herbalist. Now, herbalist, I just want it to reach across, but we want it to reach in a way that is a little bit further away. So I'm going to go with a herbalist out here. Actually, put it over this way. But what we're going to do is get the fruit garden this side. So these kind of go hand in hand. I'm going to start that. We're going to get a gardener just in next to the school here. And we're going to get the fruit garden. What they do is the gardener will look after this stuff, and it drops fruit for nearby homes, which is quite cool. And then we'll just get in some of these large gardens because they produce herbs per year. So you see we can set these up, and then we'll go for some small ones in here. Honestly, I'm just going to do that. This whole section is going to be... you know what? I'm going to get rid of this one. I want this to square off. I'm going to get rid of that one fruit. We'll get a small garden in there. So that's all the herbs for this one. What we'll say in here is this is allowed to accept. And I was thinking whether we put fruit in here, but I don't think I need to. I can just leave that going, actually. So we'll let that just come in. And I'm tempted to go ahead and get one physician probably down this side as well. What does the sauna do? Cleanse. House of healing. Disease is rampant. I know, I'm on it. I think herbalist down this way will keep things moving for the farmyards as well. Trying to think where we can put this, really. Over here is okay. I think it should reach. Now, I've just raised that out to bring this road into here. So that herbalist should reach up to there as well. And this should serve it because we got it running rampant. And then the food should be fine. Oh, we had a flood. There you go. That was what I was talking about. I thought this area would, but I think we're okay. Now, what you need for these guys is the mason huts will keep everything. The flood will damage these, but they'll be okay because the mason huts will heal it too. So I think we need to please that god a little bit more for that to kind of work a bit better. All right, well, they are now set to large cottages. If we get a sentry post, I think we can make these guys all good. There's one thing we didn't have for these farms is a sentry post. So I'm going to stick one in here as well. Hopefully this disease doesn't kill us off. I forgot the herb gardens. Now, I'm also going to start putting the shrine to Quetzalcoatl because I think that boosts the herb garden as well. If I can put this over here, though, it's weak symmetry, but wondering if it's better over this side. Weak will be okay, and then I get a shrine this side, and that'll fix it. And that does get to the garden to boost it, and it might make these guys a little bit happier. And that is the smiles on your artisans, nobles, and priesthoods. Has a long rivalry with Tlatwani. I cannot say any of their names. But I think we managed to fix the illness at least to get going, so we're all good. I'm just looking at resources. I think stone is back in business now, and most of the gardens are in, although no, they're not. The big ones are, so they'll be producing herbs. And we have now 1,340 population, but we do have room for me to try and get some fish in soon. So it says we're short of workers, but I feel like we can set this up. So I'm going to do that. Now, these turkeys can be kept for their meat and manure if they have space to forage. I don't think I'm going to do too many of those, so I'm going to get the fishing wharf set up, though. And I reckon we can do anywhere around here. The only thing that concerns me is this flooding along this plain. But actually, it's just something we're going to deal with. And I'm going to start with 3 fisheries. And we're going to bring a road all the way from this guy over, and we're going to get our granary. You know what? I'm going to use a portyard. Terrain is blocked over here. Can that reach? This can reach if I go here, but it needs a stone road. So what I'm going to do is chinampas this land, actually. This is going to take some doing, but I'm going to claim back this land. It means we might need to move our clay pits, actually, so we might want to remove some of these. So I'll cancel maybe that, and then the rest can go through there. At least I'll have the road, right? And I should be able to get the portyard in maybe down here once this is rebuilt. Now, the next thing is we're going to need a noble compound of some kind. I need to decide where I'm going to put these things, and I am actually thinking we start a really small noble area just through here for our soldiers. So let's get one noble compound here. This should cheer up these remaining soldiers as well, and then I'll work on getting these numbers up again some more. I think maize is good. The fruit's getting a little bit low, though. All the basic resources looking fantastic. Now, what these chinampas do is basically it creates a floating garden on there, and eventually it turns into actual ground. So you've just got to leave it to mature. Oh, it looks like I forgot about that, didn't I? I didn't have that one built. Although I think it's still done. I'm going to set that to not be delayed anymore and actually finish this canal bit. I completely forgot that we had that one there. And that will boost our chilies. Let me just check for the rest of fertility. So up there's not great. We still need to come down this way then. And we would need another canal. So I'm thinking actually we just utilize this last bit of space in here to get a chili bed. I'm thinking we can move a few of these around to get the chili bed there. We relocate this clay pit down a bit, or we move it over here. Although I might still get a farm there. And I'm going to collect up a bunch of stone and upgrade all my roads. I still don't know if they move quicker on the roads, but I know that it just means they reach further. Oh, scouts report that an invading army from Tlaxcala is heading for our city. They're expected to arrive within 1 month from the north. So we are going to get our squad together. So the north is this little signal here. So they should be coming on from there. We'll get all our soldiers up. So this might be where they attack from most of the time. So this will be where we kind of build our wall, essentially. And you can upgrade your soldiers, get better armors and stuff. You'll see them walking up. So each chieftain can have their 3 soldiers as well, which is pretty cool. And you can build a wall and all that. So if we know that they're always going to attack from this point, it could make sense to like bring the wall up here. All right, here they come. The enemies are at the door. Hopefully we picked the right spot. Good. So we can redeploy them over here. And that'll just bring them across. There's only a couple, so we'll be able to kill those off. We can take these as captives, by the way, and that will give us slaves for celebrations and things like that. So if they do decide to come this way, they are dead meat. And then so the battle begins. We'll just lob a bunch of spears at them. Look, kind of cool. Looks like they are alive. We should be able to take them out just fine, and that's their leader there. Let's quickly speed it up. He ran away. There you go. We'll take those as 2 slaves there. So, yep, job done. Enemy beaten, so we're going to disband those and they can come back to doing their thing back at base. I'm now going to bring the stone road down this way and we're going to get all of this in. There's the captives, look, so we should see those now within our store. Oh, the cast as captives there. Yeah, there they go, I see it. So we've got 1 slave now off the back of that fight, which is pretty cool. It looks like this extra chili farm is going to come in really handy. Now, what I'm going to do, like I say, is get this canal up to there. I'm hoping that boosts these enough. And slowly but surely, we are growing out, right? It's pretty cool. It's pretty obvious that this was just a massive floodplain though, isn't it? But the fertility is good if you wish to sort that out. Population's almost 1,500 now. Money is rolling in really, really nicely. And that's just purely from kind of tax money. I think these guys bring in some pretty good money though. That's our nobles. Let us 7 can go into this compound, so we're all good. I think that outcrop, no, that's stone. I was wondering if we had any fresh water outcrop actually for our cistern. Oh, we do. We have fresh water right here, so we'd have to get rid of that. I'm going to bin that one off, and we're going to get fresh water going. We can get a cistern here, and then we can get the... Oh, that is perfect. So all our buildings, really, are going to be quite easy to service. And that leaves a little bit of room for a service building in here as well. And we'll go ahead and get in a couple more common homes. I'll get 1 by there, 1 by there. And these extra gaps, we'll decorate those with nice stuff later on. Now, something I want to check is where we're at, right? I see we have a couple of small houses, 12 common homes, but all our cottages are up to large, and fancy cottage is the highest. So to get to large houses, we need to check in on some of these. We also need to check in on some of the common homes. That's under renovation, so that one's upgrading. This needs more pottery. So pottery being the problem here. Well, not necessarily a problem. We've only got the 2 kilns burning. Clay is heavy. This pottery is good. What are we looking at here? Pottery has 28 over here. And this one needs to move a bit quicker, doesn't it? So we're going to say balance the pottery to 40 there. We're going to always get pottery into there. I'm just playing around with the best settings for it. Yeah, so that one will always take out from the accepts. The accepts will then move it across. Let me just check here. This one's set to getting for these guys. So this one's getting all the pottery at the moment. That's why the farms are going up so fast. So this one actually needs more. This one has the 20. And then this one needs to go and nick it off them. So it'll just take some time and they will get it actually. I see small house, common homes. Yeah, so it's just pottery. I'm thinking then, with the amount of clay that we've got rolling in, another kiln, we've got room for the jobs now, and then we can also start selling pottery is my thinking. So I'm going to get that one in. Once we've serviced all of these, we'll make sure that happens. And this one also needs a marketplace. I'm just going to have a look at what it needs. Diversion as well. So we're going to go ahead and get an alcove in this area. This is going to be for my nobles constantly over here anyway. And then 1 small marketplace to feed these guys as well. I'm hoping that you're kind of getting the picture with it all now. If I go here, though, this could also serve some extra houses if we come this way. So I'm going to stick the marketplace in there. The constant balancing act, it's awesome, though. We are 5 years in, almost into the 6th year now as well. Now, in order to boost some of these, we need Tactoplia. That's the main one. So let's get one of these shrines in. So we were going to put this to gain some symmetry, weren't we? But I think out this way is the right thing to do. That has average symmetry. It's not amazing. What about there? Yeah, that's better. Although I think over here would be better. Let's stick to it this end. So we'll get that shrine in there. And I'm just going to check in on these. So these are getting plus 12% output. What about my clay mines? What do these guys need? Okay, that is sensible. So I could make this. Strong symmetry here is a good shout. This will boost some of these farms and also boost my clay. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there as well. So I've been playing around with these, and this is like the best way, at least from what I've seen, to get a lot of these up. And then beauty-wise, like these act... So the small mosaic act as a road as well. So you can kind of get these guys in. Basically, replace some with this, and it makes the houses happy too. But also adds to symmetry. So I'm going to stick these in favor of these guys. Obviously costs 1 artwork and 2 stone, so it can be a little bit costly, but that's okay. Right, Tlaloc and Totec are impressed. Quetzalcoatl is pleased. We need to get 1 for you. All right, we've got 3 to get for then. So we're building 1 for you there, aren't we? Ideally, though, I want to boost it based on what we can get from these. And I'm going to stick 1 of these shrines over here. I'm not even going to attempt to say the name. It's right there. It's an abysmal area, but it will help boost this little bit. And just like that, look, the food is looking so much better. I think one of the ones we could do is more fruit, but that's absolutely fine. The other side is to start looking at, ooh, collectors, more civil service. So they actually want to be taxed. How weird. I mean, I won't say no. So anywhere we can stick a collector that would reach all of these. Honestly, think moving the mason out is a great idea. Masonry venue. These can technically go anywhere, right? Let's put 1 in over there now. I'm going to get it in here. I'm going to get the collector right in there. So when I get more farms, we should be good. And that will tax all of these businesses and increase our monies as well. I'm not touching tax rates. You can turn them up, but I'm going to leave it for now. Looks like we're getting into some of the small houses perfectly now. So they want plazas, and that common home is good. That common home is good. So that means this must have got pottery across, which is fantastic. So in anticipation then, we'll go for a plaza. And this plaza is where we'd put a temple. I'm going to go for some kind of symmetry opposite one of these. So I'm going to go in here because that will then cover and make that bit better. We've almost actually got these. We're over halfway. No, not halfway. We're over 1,500 as well, which is nice. And there it is. That is gone now. So we are going to get our collector in. Oh, euphoric. They love me. City mood is 86%. That's fantastic. Symmetry's okay. So we just need to look after tech. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know where to stick this one, though. So this is Goddess of the Dead. I might just put it in by one of these. We've got average symmetry over here, and it'll get a boost for these guys, won't it? The plaza being in gives huge diversion for these guys, as you can see. So we're going to be really good. How are you looking? That should cover this diversion. And I'm going to continue on whilst the stone is flowing to go ahead and get this. Maybe a 3rd masonry building wouldn't be a bad idea too. But I'm going to get all that in for now. That's really sensible. And if I look, we've got content. This one's going to go in so we won't feel neglected. We'll need to get in a shrine, another one to you. Then we'll look at temples, I think, so we can start hosting for the gods as well. Looks awesome that pottery is now looking fantastic, though. So I'm going to get that portières to create some more. Actually, we only need the 40 in there. Let's make sure these are getting more. Keep that at 40, but then we want this to be getting to 80. So that should cover the extra houses that we put in. Remember, you can get more population in these as they grow as well. Every time a common home is hit, they're good straight away. So we just want to aim for the small houses. So if we open up again, we should see now that we have 6 small houses. To get to a large house, we're going to need quite a few different things. If you hover over, it tells you what they need next. The plaza's being built, so that should be pretty much everything. The only downside is the basic water quality as well. So we'll get started on the cistern. And that should come out of this freshwater spring. And then what we can do is feed the aqueduct over to another one over this way. And then the well dippers, as long as they're within 12 tiles, it'll be clean. The Chinampas slowly coming in. Look, I've got a few more, so we've just got to wait for these. They're at 80%, it looks like, so we'll be able to get the road down and get these going. So fishers are awaiting placement. We'll get that sorted, and then we'll get the storage in. Let's see if it allows me that portière now. Okay, it does if I go over here, so let's just stick that on. This portière is going to be fish. So we're going to say just fish here, which accepts. Then we're going to need, the granary isn't going to quite reach. We're going to need to figure out how we're going to do this. And honestly, I think if I bring the road directly from there, that might make it a little bit better. but we're going to need to porter this to get the fish over. So I'm going to say getting, and then the fish, hopefully, we can go into here as getting. So they'll try and bring the fish over to the granary, which will then feed all of this. And I think when you go over the top, it's like perfectly, or reasonably. So it's really good fertility when you build over it as well, which is pretty awesome. So I would be tempted to take over this. We are canaled to this bit, but if I put the gardens over this, we can make more farms this way. Then we'll bring it out. I think that's the right play. How's my stone roads looking? Really good over here. So our gods should be pretty damn happy now. All right, I see that the next access they're asking for is a sentry post in the small house. So it looks like we probably haven't got enough for that. Security is good. They've got the garrison, but no sentry post. That's a really easy way of getting what we need. So one sentry post will cover all of this. Now, I'd be tempted to put it in here, actually. Yeah, because that actually reaches over this way. Amazing. Right, there's our cistern, though. That did finish. I'm not going to put that in just yet, but that does mean the well dipper for these guys are good. And just like everything else, our nobles, which is full, by the way, will need access to basic things. So I'm going to stick in a sweeper here, and then everything else should be good. And the noble compound also levels up in the same fashion as well. You'll see that we're looking pretty good on our needs across here as well. Look, these are the goals. I'm going to get rid of that reminder. We don't need to worry about that. Our fishers are in, by the way. They have nowhere to deliver fish yet, but it's almost done. We're waiting on this 80% chinampa here, and we're in. I'm actually going to start paving this. It looks like these need a chinampa as well, actually. I'm going to fill all this out. So if we need more... Is that the ones I wasn't going to do with the clay? A herbalist has caught fire. Your well dippers will need to douse the flames before they can spread. Perhaps is displeased with us. They're God. All right. Someone's displeased. We are now 6 years in, sorry. Oh, you guys need to hurry up. Where's my whale dipper? Get dipping. You'll see we're slowly but surely making some good money here as well. I'm just having a look over, is there anything we can sell yet? We could export some timber, just a little bit. I'm going to keep clay. I'm going to export some stone as well. And pottery, not so much. Now, I am going to export 40 meat because we're getting quite a lot from hunting too. Oh, we've just been hit by a bit of a flood again, so we'll have to wait for these. It should subside in a moment. And it looks like my fisher huts can now start stocking this up. There we go. We now have fish. All right, looks like those small houses now, look, they are after cloth to develop. We can either import or add a cloth weaver to supply a market. So let's have a look. Cotton bed. We can 100% smash one in here, and I'm going to go for 3. Although it looks like we can't go on there. So if I chinampa this, we're not going to have that anymore. Let me check fertility. Fertility is good back here. So if I get a road then, and then we hit canals coming out this way, just so I can see, and then I should be able to put roads over the top. Should create a bridge over the top here, and then I can come all the way around. And then off the back of that, I should be able to scale the farms backwards here. It's actually pretty fertile still here. Minimally fertile, but once we put these guys in, it should be really good. I'm going to start cotton down this way. Now, the only downside is going to be reaching services. So I probably will need to set up another bunch of services through there, but that shouldn't be a problem. And then off the back of that, look, we're going to need cloth and cotton. So, oh, maguey. It's maguey. Maguey? Is that how you say it? I don't think I can grow that. Cotton's woven for nobles, so we're going to need to buy in then. So if we import 80 McGee here, that will come from here. So if I get the factory, I think, oh, this fits in really well over here. And then we can actually utilize the existing infrastructure to push it out. But instead, I'm going to get rid of this wood. I'm going to stick it in here. There we go. We're going to get our cloth weaver in this bit. And then from here, I'm going to accept cloth. We're going to say getting 40 cloth should be good. So we'll buy it in. We'll accept cloth in here. I'm just going to say no trade. And that means they'll put it in. But then this guy will reach out, hopefully, and get it. I don't know if it can reach it. If not, let's get this upgraded. Then it can. Perfect. And we're just going to hover over. Let's see if the market starts to stock that. Beautiful. So it says 20. Enemies on the march. Let's get those guys ready. This is actually pretty handy. They should... From the south. We'll get ready down here then. And I'll get everyone in. And before we go any further, I am going to get a military, maybe a barracks in. They can be drilled for war. So where would we stick a barracks though? This is where I need to decide where we want to put things, you know. I don't think I have any use of things this end. Terrain's blocked there. We need to chinampa that one, but I could just get it. You know what? Over here is not a bad idea. So let's do it. Because we've got room for the nobles there. Let's get the barracks in there. Not concerned about the attack anyway. We'll be able to deal with that really, really fast. Hopefully we can get a few more slaves. I will be holding festivals soon. Nice, easy win. And we are officially over 10k now. Lovely. And unemployment has gone in a bit. So what we're going to do is say... is that just trading soldiers, actually? Does that mean when I set this... Yeah, look, we gain extra. Extra to be fighting with, which is pretty awesome. So realistically, I'm going to get another mason in then. So another mason yard. This one is going to come this side. And I'm going to look at maybe getting in a nice big temple very soon. Should we get ahead and start importing some of this maybe? Or do I just hammer out kilns? We're still good on clay, aren't we? I might get another kiln on the go. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to get a third kiln and I'm going to prep this ready for further. So I am going to get some more chinampas this area. I'm going to take over here. What it does mean is we might need to make the canal go a little bit further, but that's okay. So let me just check the farm a second. Do we want to get... We don't want to go the cotton bed just yet. We could. That could be a moneymaker. Let's have a look at how far we'd need to go. So that's 26. That's 29. That's 32. So that's good. So the canal then needs to come through here. As long as the canal goes there, we're fine. Get rid of that one so we're not wasting time. And then I can put farms across the top here as well. I'm also going to extend the herb garden. So we're going to get some more of those guys in. Another gardener. I'm going to place him out this way. We're going to go for a small garden out here. And that should be able to send into ours anyway. So I'm going to get this upgraded and we can get them all across. All right, just quickly checking in on the gods. I think most are pretty happy. We've got enough for our population, haven't we? So we can start to think about the temples and holding or hosting some things for them. We're 8 years in. Some of our masons lack timber. I'm actually a little bit tempted to get a tiny bit of timber production set over here because we've got them set to come into here anyway. And you know what? We get loads in, but we're going to need quite a bunch of it when we start going into furniture. So I'm going to preemptively get this going. And I'm tempted to try and build this in, actually. Build it from here. There is no use for that little area, and that can be just something. Let's do that. Let's also take it up into that top bit. So we've got full reachability to go up. The city's not so small anymore, which is pretty cool. Let's check population, actually. So 2030, very nice. And there we go. So large cottages, we'll check in on those, what we need to get them to fancy ones. Everything is a small house now. So if we just hover over, that one's ready to be upgraded. This has everything it needs. So we're going to go to the large homes very soon. We just need to finish getting that cloth in. But it's doing its job. We just need this to continue getting it in. So maybe another cloth weaver. And right now I can fit this in this end and it can reach everything. Once those roads comes in, it can reach everything just fine, I think. Actually in here is perfect. It looks like we have 11 now for nobility. So we're going to need another noble house. We'll get one more noble compound in there. And we'll check what these guys want. Oh, large cottage under renovation. So they're all upgrading to the top tier cottage now. So we have done everything for them. These are still farmers' huts. So we need to get a well dipper this way. As you can see, that then hopefully I'm giving you a sense of how you kind of play this. But a well dipper here is going to be perfect. That's for a farm. Although, if I could get it this way. No, we're very much going to have to go maybe in this gap. Seems a bit much. I'm going to fill this in. I'm going to turn up the import of Maggie now. We're going to go to 120. I could even get another trading post here actually to get more in. There is no way we can grow that, so... Right, let's open the world map now. So we are... Well, let's have a look. Here we got free trade with those. I could say, oh, they're the guys that attack me, is it? Add term. Let's try free trade. I'm going to add another term. I'll give them some cash. There you go. Begin mission. That should set off and allow us to trade with these guys. And I'll get a second trade post in with those. You can go and conquer the guys that are attacking you as well. It stops them attacking you once and for all. I was saying unemployment is still a problem, so I need to work on that. But we are building a couple of things out, so it shouldn't be a problem soon. I don't think this was the right place for that garden, by the way, guys. So I think what I'm going to do is take all of this. Just cancel all that. And we'll go somewhere else. Quite tempted to get a gardener in these bits and just start filling it out. Word has reached the city that bandits ambushed one of your traders on the road to Tenochtitlan, but our soldiers were able to fend them off. No serious losses reported. That's always a bonus, isn't it? He's probably right that the garden goes this way, actually. We'll just have to chinampa this. So if I start it this way, and then we actually fix this once and for all. Go ahead and go over all of this area. We'll reclaim all that. This is then fertile land, isn't it? And there we go. We're up to fancy cottage now. The residents here have no complaints. We have fully maxed out the beautiful fancy cottages. Very nice. Well done. And our small homes. It takes 12 months, by the way, from the moment they get their stuff in. It takes the following 12 months and then they'll upgrade for those that didn't know. And in terms of industry, we already have quite a bit of stuff coming in. So I'm wondering if there's something we can make. And our envoy is going to arrive in 1 month as well. Envoy successful. They should be returning home soon. So what we're going to do then is build another trade post. That's probably our next step here. And this doesn't really matter where it is too much. Tempted to start a little bit of a build this way. Let's do that, and then we'll get the stone road off this. And we'll just get this trade post moving, because we can move things about from there. And this one you need to dedicate to someone. So we're going to go for Hoi Tlatwani, and he only has certain things that you can get in, right? Jewelry being one of them. Cloth being another, which is great. So I can import. Oh, that's his exports, sorry. Okay. We can import meat, and we can import cotton buds or stone. He doesn't really have anything then. That's rubbish. Upper nobility jewelry is something we might be able to do, so maybe not then. This trading post probably doesn't need to be dedicated to you, but we'll do it anyway. The other side of it is whether we send to the next one to negotiate. Try free trade. Chance of success high. We're going to try it with you, and I can probably flip it to him then, because he will export. Hold on. They're not that good, but we're going to do it anyway. And then they export Magui. That's where we're getting that from, isn't it? We need obsidian here, so you would be good. But there are nemesis, so I don't know whether we need to go and conquer them, if I'm honest. So we're going to... Oh, you get this chance of success. It's guaranteed if I send to. I'm going to send to conquer Tlaxla, because he's the one I think that attacks. So and we'll say peace for free trade. Let's try that. There we go. We'll send on that mission, because we need obsidian for the furniture. So I'm going to try and get that in. Now, it's worth noting, obviously, just coming to the end of the 8th year. So that is 9 years now coming in. Check in on these houses. Under renovation. There we go. And the envoy has been sent. So we're now upgrading to large houses. And we are on 2090 population. We're going to need to get these going. I'm going to look at what I can get the noble compounds up to. We need a well dipper and cloth in the market. Envoy successful as well, so we should be able to trade with them. So if I change this one then, and there it is, we should be able to... Oh, I can get it with you anyway. I can import obsidian from you. Okay, he doesn't have anything for us anyway, so it's fine. We'll just remember the obsidian when we need to. I think I'm going to place a couple more common houses up this side now. I'm hoping those 3 will be reachable with everything. We'll keep an eye on them until they're not as well. And I'm just deciding, I think the plazas they can walk across anyway, so we might be able to get a temple up here. I'm not sure yet. Our forces have departed to lay siege on Tlaxcala. They're expected to arrive within 1 month. Okay, so it is still doing it. I was wondering why that didn't pop up. Right, our forces were victorious in their siege. They are now our vassals and will be expected to pay us tribute. We took 2 captives. We have tribute, baby. I don't know what that means they'll give us, though. I've just seen this royal oversight. Your immediate family and advisors can be assigned to oversee specific troops returned. specific venues in your city, granting benefits to production of goods and provision of services in both that venue and similar venues in the neighborhood. So if I can provision in an area, and they'll be better around here. That's amazing. Not going to do it, but very cool. All right, we're going to start looking at this. So let's see. Let's see, where are we now? So if we click small, 200 axes. So only out of our cash, 1 victim, and we need some pulque, which is a milky beverage. I'm going to have that as a recurring thing, but we'll buy in pulque. So we're going to come to here. I did see it on here. This trade, pulque. So we're going to import pulque, and we're going to use that for our, what's it called? Our rituals. We're going to start throwing those to make the gods happy. So what these will do is, you'll see, this increases satisfaction once we do it, and that is for each god, right? So everyone has their own little god that you can please. What's the mountain feast? Oh, you can change the god as well. So we want to like spread them out a little bit. And just a small feast for you. Every few months we probably want to hit one, don't we? And then maybe over here we'll also, I'm not doing large ones, I'm just gonna, all the gods, what does this do? Oh, there you go. We can go for all the gods on these. We can say, bless all of you. Can I do that on you? We can. That's actually really good. We don't really have the pulque in yet, but if we can just set some festivals off, and I've noticed just spreading them out, you don't need to do them all the time, just keeps them happy. Now, what I will say is I've managed to keep the gods pretty damn happy without temples at the moment. It's based on if you can service for the amount of people you have. So we are going to need to consider one more shrine of these 3 very soon. Other than that, we're fine. Right, that has impacted me a tiny bit, so we're going to need to look at exporting something out. I'm going to take pottery. I do need that pottery in there, actually. I'll put the muggy down. Let's get rid of that meat off there, and we're going to put the timber trade up to 80. It's not worth loads, but I'm going to do it. And then maybe the stone, I think we could probably do. So let's get stone up as well. Let's check in. So fancy cottages looking good. What do these need? Clean water. Did I not put the well dipper in? I didn't. And this will reach from here actually. So we'll stick the well dipper for these guys in there. And just check these. Okay, so they're now saying they need a sauna. That's one thing we don't have. So where's best? Oh, that fits really well there. But we'd need to bring, let me just check this side. That also reaches everything. So I think over here is better. And the reason I say that is because we're going to need to feed this across. So I'm going to start that. So we're going to need to bring the aqueduct through. And I think I'm going to need to move that sweeper. Let's move that over here. Also going to move, actually marketplace is okay. I need to probably bring it upward. I'm trying to think where we can put this. That alcove needs to move. And so does this temple. Good symmetry over here. So I'm going to put this temple this way. Still reaches these guys. And I'm going to bring this up. So alcove to move up. And then I can bring the cistern in. This is going to be a new fresh cistern over this side as well to service this. I'm pretty sure though the sauna is going to work in a moment. You notice how we're not being attacked anymore, by the way, guys, since we made that one our vassal. It's pretty awesome. So I can just carry on. It looks like I'm ready here. So we need Chinampa there. I should be able to continue getting these gardens over here as well. And that should be everything we need. I get lost in the menus though every time. There it is. And there's our gardens to cover for this one. Oh, I've just seen this stone canal over a normal canal. Does 4 tiles and has better resistance to floods and weathering. I just need to relocate this marketplace somewhere too. So I'm going to do the market over here. And I'm going to bring stone road from the top here. That might not be ideal. I don't know if that's still going to reach though. So we might need to do something else. But I just want to move this around. Those 2 swapping would be better actually. I'm going to move the sauna across. Move this down and then cistern up here. I'm just going to decorate some mosaics through the middle now. It'll start to look a little bit nicer. If you guys could just move this out, that would be fantastic. And I'll relocate the market. And that should now reach both of those. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I'm going to put the cistern over this way. Might even go one further and come this way. Nah, I think it'll look nicer if I go here. And then aqueduct this baby all the way around this to come into there. And then our sauna should be good. Now, if I look at these, they should be good. So they now want a dentist. So healthcare, there's lots of healthcare needs. But I suppose that's why they need 40. So education's good, security's good, health good, religion good, diversion good. So they're going to be good for a while, actually. So a dentist is a nice small building as well. Look at that. Boom. Oh, you know what? I might need a dentist over this way. It gives us a few more jobs as well. There we go. Nice gardens coming in just fine there as well. So still thinking about what farms to put in. I don't know whether just to spam this in a bit more. I think cotton bed would make sense though. We are going to need them, aren't we? So I'm going to get my farmer's hut here and then we're going to put the cotton bed through this. There we go. We'll just go for one for now and then we'll allow the storage probably in one of these porter yards. I don't know which one to go with. They're all pretty full. Yeah, clay ones. Let's get another porter yard. Makes sense. Let's just put it in there. So this one is going to be for cotton. This is cotton only, and I'll probably make multiple farms for this actually. And I've just realized what I've done. This needs to be upgraded. So I can make this stone canal. It does 4 tiles, right? So that will cover all of these. So that will come all the way to this edge. That's perfect. It looks like we need another well dipper to service these guys as well. So we can get one in there. And I see my cistern isn't quite working. What's the issue? Ah, can they not reach that? There's a modest estate there. They can't get to that one to build it. I'll demolish those 3. Let them finish that, then rebuild it. There we go. Everything is fixed. Last piece going in. That one just coming in now. There it is. So that cistern should fill up nicely. And that's going to give the clean water for these guys from this. So it should be adequate. That's not quite reaching. We might need to move things around and get another cistern. Just misses. Maybe I could move the tax collector out then. It says it's heavy use anyway. Let's get one tax collector moved over here. Let's get another tax collector in. I'm thinking down here, you know. Yeah, let's go down there. Still doing well on the trees. These 2 have cut down, but these are all going to grow back anyway, so that's fine. We'll put that well dipper in. That should cover this area just fine. And then these houses will be good for clean water. If not, I'll extend the cistern around this way and move all this around again. Yeah, there we go. It turned into a basin. Look, this one doesn't quite reach. So what can I move around then? Maybe this house says, yeah, let's move that house over there. And I'm going to put the well dipper over that side. Or do I go a little bit better? Let's see where it reaches to. Yeah, it has to. So let's get you moved in. And then that should service these houses just fine. You notice because they get that fresh water, it automatically upgrades to a basin. It's just on the same there. So this, there you go, needs furniture now to develop. So all we need is that obsidian. So if we come into trade, get rid of pottery out there. We're going to bring in obsidian. And we're going to say, remove the cloth. We're going to try and import 80 obsidian now. And then industry-wise, we're going to need a little bit on the go with the furniture. This just needs to reach the marketplace, remember. So up here is perfect from the trade post. So I'm going to get furniture in here. They're going to get the obsidian and hopefully the wood. Yeah, so timber will be able to come in from there. The question is, does this one... Yeah, that has timber. We're going to need to get obsidian into one of these. So I think I'm going to need another one to push it out. I need another one, actually. I might see if a porter yard will reach. So if I push this to say getting the pottery, and then I want to move some of this out of here. So if I put that down to 40, I can push 40 into there, and then the rest we can put furniture. You can say getting furniture into this one. Then what we'll do is pretty much, that's about it, actually, and then that should be fine. If I push 80 pottery into there, and then we just say accepts stone timber for repairs, we should be good. Then from here, this is going to import the obsidian. That should then reach up to this one, which is pulling in, sorry, up to here. And then that from the timber plus obsidian is going to push furniture into this one. And this furniture is going to be used then to get these up to the next tier. And this one can also reach these 2. And they need furniture for their next one. A furniture, sorry. It's quite straightforward, actually. I forget the names, so I get things wrong, but it's looking good. I think the furniture gives it straight to the small market, actually, yeah. So I think from here it can come straight into that one, but we'll push furniture into this one anyway, hopefully, to service everything else. And I could be able, I can just say this port to stop is to get, but I don't know if I need to do that yet. I'll keep that in mind, but we want it all to come into here really. Now I'm going to change this trade post to start exporting some of our raw resources just to get rid. We have so many. Fish as well. We should probably sell fish from here. So let's go ahead and export 80 fish as well. That means we can counteract all of our purchases. Let's check in. 2,600. I'm going to put the reminder back on so I can see the population up here now because it's the only one. Money's looking good since we started selling the fish as well. So all nice in there. I could go to 120 here. Why not? Just going to check my pottery numbers actually here a second as well. Yeah, 535 pottery. Let's sell some of that. 120 pottery as well. Why not? And timber, we're going to go to 120 in here as well. We're just going to start pushing that out. I'm just looking through what we have here. House of Song. Higher nobility. We've got a memorial. Important events and notable people. Don't think I need to worry about that yet. Have you got your stuff yet? Have we started yet? No obsidian. Oh, I've got it on exports. I need to import it, you absolute fool. Ah, I'm silly. I am silly. I'm going to continue pushing fish so we can just start making loads more money. These guys are okay anyway. And we're going to need to consider these three as well now. We have 120 obsidian. I'm going to knock that down to 80. I'm actually going to knock the McGee down to 40 as well. Just so I'm in a surplus. We should be good to keep selling fish anyway. We have so much of it, so it shouldn't be a problem. And all these exports are pretty wild. I can keep going with stone and stuff if we can fit them. But there we go. Furniture coming in. So we should start to see the market give this going. I might need to get a bigger one. It says it's adequate still. But just in case, I'm tempted to get in another small market. I'll be honest though, we got one there, haven't we? That one's doing half the job as well. Yeah, service is minimal on that one. Unless it needs to be a large market to service them. Yeah, both basic and luxury goods. So what we could do is move some things out. Like this block of houses and make this a large marketplace. Not the whole block, but I just need to do 4 of them. I don't want to block that one because I'm going to put a house there. Road there. So if I bring the road this way, then I should be able to continue this on. We'll just move one down there. I think it should still reach. Yeah, it still reaches everything. And then we'll get the large marketplace in there. And what I'll do is probably get rid of this small marketplace, put the large one in here, and then I can fit another house in there and another strip coming through. And one large market. As soon as that's built, I'm going to bin this one off, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that one. And we are stretched on probably going to need another garrison. So I need to place one of these somewhere. And I think over this way is the right play. So I'm going to leave a gap, but put a garrison over there. We've got room though. So I feel like we should probably stick in another commoner. And then just to finish off the beauty, I'm going to put the small mosaic through there. And this large market now holds the furniture. Lovely. So this holds everything we need. This also does cotton and jewelry. This large marketplace also reaches these. So that's perfect. We're on 15. Is that enough room? Yep. Still good. There we go. The large houses. We have fancy houses. We are top tier. So the only ones we've got left to do are our big boys. So if we just come to their houses every time, it's the wrong one. We need to go up to large estate. So my family need themselves a royal palace too. And then we're going to get some of our venues done. And my royal palace, I feel like it should go over this way actually. I'm going to place it in there. We're going to get the stone road just going up to this bit. And then we'll bring this around. So these the plazas do act as, what's it called? Now, my shrine to Totec. Let's go for average symmetry here. It's going to like the farms. We probably don't need to come any further. So I'm going to come in here for the start of religion. I'm going to have the Zype Totec and Tlotlak in here as well, because these are actually going to boost these babies, I think. So we'll get those two as our main 2 big temples in there. And then over this way, I'm going to start with some of the other ones. But first we've got to let these build. And as these go to fancy houses, which they all are already, by the way, you can fit a lot of people. So we're looking good. We're on 2,800, so not bad at all. Now, if we wanted to get someone in, we can reduce property tax. We're earning a nice ton of money now as well. Or we could increase wages. I'm going to increase wages. So trade and commerce, military and defense, government and education. Actually, military and defense can stay. Religion can go up, and then so can the others. So it'll cost us a bit more, but we're going to turn up to 100. Let's go on everything. 120% across the board on wages. That should bring in more people. And you'll see that symmetry is strong. So the 100% impressed by all of them. And we got a plus 59 bonus, and we're euphoric. So people are very healthy. Wages are -2, so that's going to go up. City mood is 95% though, so we can't really complain. I'm going to push this a little bit further, and we are going to get another clay pit. I'm actually going to go for 2 more clay pits, and I'm also going to get another kiln. Because this, why not, right? We can sell like crazy for pottery. We are exporting anyway, so it's all ready to go. And we are doing festivals of the gods in the background, which is awesome. So let's see if there's anything I can do to come down here now. So this little area, I'm hoping can reach these houses, because the large estate, modest estate, that needs a new collector to start. So we're going to get a tax building in here. And then down this way, we're going to need something. They said they want gardens or prettier buildings to help. So that's nice and easy. I'm thinking this House of Song down here will cover these guys. And I don't need this wood, although down here also covers them actually. I'm going to put the House of Song in there. I'm going to stick a memorial. Although the memorial, I think, is just a nice looking building. So I don't know if they can reach that. Yes, they can. So I'm going to... don't want to get rid of the spring, but I think we can put it there. We've got one spring there that as long as we don't touch that, we're fine. And all these coming in should help. So if we come in, like education, all of this is good. They just say they want something prettier. I think these are all good as well. What do you need? That's going to upgrade as well. So large estate is good. We're on 17 nobles, I think. So we're almost full in these houses too. Let's get one of these. Commoners and nobles alike like to gather here to watch the sacred ball game. Holy crap, this is huge. This gives bad symmetry. Abysmal symmetry. I was thinking do something on this corner and then push it out, but we'd have to go a little bit further. I don't think we need it necessarily, but I kind of want to build it. Oh, temple's coming along actually as well. Gold artwork. Can we buy gold in? How the hell do you make gold artwork? I know how we do it. There's a goldsmith. Goldsmiths prepare gold artwork from the completion of your most magnificent public structures and a luxuriant residence. There we go. So we need gold works. I'm trying to figure out where we could put this, actually. This needs to be somewhat central, so I might put it in with these guys. See if we can produce those babies up. Okay, goldsmith, what does it use? It uses some of our cash plus timber to make gold artwork. So we might need just a small porter. Porter stops nice and small, so let's just plonk one of these in here a second. And this can be for the goldsmith. I don't know if you can put that in, actually. No, that's pointless. It doesn't do anything. Let's get rid of that. These guys will just use it anyway to chuck it into these. So we need 16 total for those. I think we're going to need... Royal Palace needs 1 for our nobles as well. And there it is, the Royal Palace. This home needs access to the ball court. Okay, that's... So in order to get us upgraded then... It doesn't actually say about the palace. That just says Royal Palace, just to make them happy. So that ball court, we do want to get in. Just so big. I think we've got everything for it. Don't like that the symmetry's so bad. We can make this better then. So let me think, if we go in here, or let's move it up a bit, we should be able to make this symmetrical, right? So we'll put the ball court in. What I'm going to do is get the beautification stuff, and we are going to go ahead and get mosaics around and see if that helps for a start, and then we'll get a few things around it like stellas and stuff. We'll get stellas all the way. It will probably like that then, because there'll be some symmetry. Oh, that provides diversion as well. We just need full lots of staff, and there we go. Our temples are done. These guys will use stuff. They provide serious religion. And the other side of it, I think if we provide plazas, we could get... Right, so if I go there plus there, we're going to get full symmetry as their opposites. I've got these shrines though, so I don't know whether to remove those actually. Hold on. There we go. We'll move it in so we have better symmetry across there. Town's huge now. I can zoom all the way out. I think we've been really, really efficient. The main thing is, look, we got loads of money rolling in. They're happy with us. Although this is breaking it a little bit. Yeah, it's now weak instead of awful. These it's weak and awful. I think as long as we line up this way and this way, we should be good. I'm putting this Kalmakak in here, and I'm going to replace the gardens down this way. So I'm just going to place them in because he can't get to those. He's going to be able to get to them down this way anyway. So just in the little gaps. I think I'm allowed to go in there, but all these little spare dots can be herb gardens. It's pretty cool. And honestly, it looks quite nice when you dot them around, I think. So if we go in, we can see security's good. Health needs to go higher. Diversion and religion need to go higher, and so does education. But this one doesn't necessarily matter too much. I still want to get these. So gardens and prettier things might help. But let's get some stellas around this area for these guys. We've already got mosaics, but we can turn this path into mosaics. They might like that. Yep, they did like that, and now they want cotton. Cotton weaver. So we need large marketplace. This reaches. So as long as we got a cotton weaver down this way, I think we're good. Because we already have that in, don't we? So let's get our cotton weaver down there. Does that reach? What I need to consider is it needs to get all the way down this way. So cotton weaver then in here. Got the wrong thing in. It's supposed to be cotton buds. So that one's cotton buds. This one is cotton weaver. So that will make them. And then we need to transfer this over. So we'll say no export, but get cotton in there. And then the marketplace should be able to pick it up from here. And then that will supply all of these, well, the main big guys, right? Symmetry's average over here right now, which is good. So that gives a huge service boost. All right, we're officially 19 years in. Absolutely flying, man. So I think I've almost perfected this run, I would say. I mean, we're almost on 70k. I've got loads coming in and out. It's fantastic. And we are just flying. I'm hoping I can service these. This home has everything. So large estates are in. This one now wants a few more gardens. So this is nice and easy because to service this, stellas are the one. The problem is I just have to do one at a time. As long as they're reachable, though, it isn't a problem. And I'm going to surround this in said stellas once these are built. Right, I'm going to start producing amate. We're going to set up a different distribution now. I've got houses over this way, so I think must be placed to a source of bark. So we've got to put it in the trees. And the bark is a certain type of tree. So I'm going to put it down here. And I think that amate should be able to push up to this. I'm going to need more storerooms, though. I'm going to put getting on this one, and then that should push up to here. And there we go. Bark coming in. This produces amate or amate. And then that should be pushing up to our library. So library works better when it's got it in. Oh, look at this money. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Right, I'm going to try and pull some more people in even more. So I'm going to, I mean, they're pretty happy with me. So I'm going to reduce taxes completely down to 10%. We're living the socialist dream in the Aztec Empire right here. And we can practically run things all the time. I'm going to do a large one. It needs one sacrifice. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to have a recurring all the gods encouragement of the land. Going to add that bad boy in. Right, we've got our amate in. So service of this is looking really good. In the library now. That took a little bit of shuffling around. I've done it though. I think everyone is really, really happy here. And I've put in some new service buildings. This is added to symmetry around this area. It's made it a little bit better. I'm just pushing this a little bit further, trying to get my royal palace needs. Just kind of happy, really. They're lacking one thing. That's fresh water. Is it fresh water? It is. But we could get in another well dipper over here and get that one upgraded, actually. So let's do that. There's actually room for it just here. And that's going to upgrade to the next tier anyway. And as we keep building this way, it's all going to get better. This looks awesome, man. Look at them all scurrying around like lunatics. We're almost at 4,000 population now and almost 100,000 axe monies. And bear in mind, we're doing lots of festivals where we spend money now, large ones. And just kind of keeping everyone happy. We're flying through 23 years in now. This has good symmetry now, by the way. So it makes it very good. If we come in, we can see education, diversion is good. We need a little bit more religion. And one more piece of education. So we're almost there. So So there's 2 more shrines we need. The Shape Totek, whatever you want to call it, Exype, and Tlatloc. I'm going to get both of these. They have weak symmetry. But I'm going to get them both, and that should tip the religion over the edge, and then we just need to hit education. Kalmakak, library, telepathy, and a collector. They're all good for the royal palace, but I don't know. There it is, though. It's going to get there. If we look in, I've just clicked the population tab. We can see we're actually... So deaths are 60, but immigration is 310 after turning taxes down and income up. We've managed to get an extra 100 per year or whatever it is as well. Some of our education buildings are overwhelmed. There's a couple of things I haven't done is the dock. It allows trading with other cities apparently. So I might just get one in just to see what it's all about. But for the most part, we're pretty much done. Just trying to hit the population up, really. I'm going to bring this in just to see what it's all about. And we're just trying to get them up. Look, as you can see, health. They literally have everything for health, other than a herbalist, I guess. The herbalist is 100%. Dentist plus 15. Steam baths 25. And sweeper. So we've got the royals pretty much as happy as they need to be. Everyone else is good. The only other side now is some more common homes. So we're pretty full. We can officially continue a couple of roads around here. But I'm going to try and get... maybe not down this way, but we could get more farms in. And I'm thinking another farmer's hut this end. But we'd have to get a little gullet thing through there. And I'm thinking we're going to need another maize field. So that's exactly what we'll do. And we get the canal going through. I can get these upgraded anyway. It makes sense to get the stone canals now, actually. I don't know why I'm not doing that. Building super fast, and they look so much nicer, these ones. So we'll go ahead and upgrade all of that. Just notice the House of Healing lacks plumbing access, apparently. This one over here. So I think that needs to be closer to a cistern. Have a look around. I think that might be our only freshwater spring. So if we were to try and get one over here, I might be able to do it via this. I'm not sure if aqueducts can go down. Oh, they can. Short answer is yes, then. That's amazing. So we can bring this in like that. Trying to increase employability for these guys. And honestly, I think a lot of it is going to be... What's this? War canoes can assist in rapid assaults on distant cities. We're going to go for a gatehouse. We're going to get some walls. I don't think I'm going to be going any further than this area. So we're going to make it so they can't come in. And we're going to chuck in some towers along the edge. This should help with non-employability. You wouldn't want to try and push through there, would you? And then we may as well get another barracks or 2 in. Just train up some units. I can go kill everything I wanted to. That's pretty much it, though. I'm just hoping this cistern will actually work. I'm not sure if they can get down to build this. So I'm going to attempt to maybe take a road down. We might be able to go all the way around to get there, but we might need to build a bridge across. Well, you can see I'm scaling around the back here to try and get it in. So hopefully they can build. One little guy stuck there. I'm trying to build my way through to save him. He's almost dead. So if he dies, he dies. It's all right. There we go. We managed to save him. So we've got a pathway up to these now, should we need it. And I'm tempted to continue this stone path through all of this. So just because I know they can be a bit daft and get stuck. There we go. I managed to get a few of the employees in. So if I just click this here, look how many soldiers we have now. So I might just go out on the map. Go muller some people, to be honest. Go conquer these suckers. There we go. We're going to go conquer them anyway for the sake of doing it, just because we can. And we'll take tribute as a vassal. 116,000 now. We are loving it in the treasury. And we have reduced taxes, remember. So we're doing pretty good. Someone else is again stuck. The only thing I don't like is how easy people get stuck in this game. All right, troops victorious. We took 2 captives. We've got 14 slaves now. They are vassals and would be expected to pay us tribute. Lovely. I don't think we can build these guys here, actually. So this, I think we need to relocate just for now. Let's push it over here. Let's see if we can get these built, then we'll put them back in. We'll take these guys out. At least this guy can then move, hopefully. Look how beautiful this looks with all the proper stone canals in as well. It's amazing how much you get just from these, isn't it? Look, almost at 5,000. Now this is gone. I should be able to fix all of this area. And I can get my House of Healing moved. It does have to go back here, but I've got to... Why does it have to go back there? I've got to let this build first. One more piece they can't reach there, so I think I've got to get the stone road to come this way. I can bring it up if I get that out of the way. Pretty sure. Oh, you can go down but not up. That makes perfect sense. So this isn't going to work. Walls coming in nicely as well, by the way, guys. So I'm going to demolish these out then. So I don't think we can come this way. I've got to find another way around. I think I know what I need to do, but it requires me moving some things. So we're going to have to come around the back. I've got this already to here, but I think I can come around this way if I move the barracks out. So like the other guys are out here anyway, so let's go ahead and move them. I'm just going to destroy all this out and get this reset. I'm pretty sure we can bring the aqueduct to go over this. Don't know if it can go over those mosaics. If not, we can get rid of that as well. I was so close to our 5,000 as well. Just looking, we are hitting another 180s. We're about to hit it. I really want to finish this off before we get there. I just can't until this is built. There we go. We've managed to carve that all the way through. That should fuel this now. And then I can relocate this well dipper back over this way. So we'll have cisterns. I could have come from this one around the back as well, or through here by moving this back one, but that's the way I'm going to do it. Our outer walls got finished. Look at that. Nothing's getting in here. We've got loads of them walking along the walls because the towers employ 2 at a time. We still just can't fill up the jobs. It's just got so much everywhere. It's so good. Smashing through the stone, by the way, just filling in these last aqueduct pieces. So we are all good. I actually need to get rid of that one just in case they can't quite reach. And I'm going to finish off my other temples down this way as well. So I don't need any more farms or anything. So I may as well just get them in. And then we'll have the 5th in... Oh, actually... Yeah, let's go here. Scenic neighborhood. You want a scenic neighborhood, eh? Okay, I have just the place for you. Here's one we placed earlier. There we go. We're going to get all the temples in to say we've completely done them as well. Absolutely smashing it. They should keep them all happy. We've pretty much filled the map other than the water anyway. It doesn't let you build too far down, so that's pretty much as far as we're going to go. Money's fantastic as well. Population, I mean, I think it's mainly just because I don't actually have any houses spare, so I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more slapped in. And I think these guys have all the water they need now, so we managed to get that up and running. Oh, the Emperor is sufficiently impressed that he has chosen you for promotion and a new assignment within the Empire. Should you accept it? That is, well done. Now, I just want to finish off this, but we finished all objectives there, guys. Absolutely smashed it. I'm just hoping we can finish this one off and get that water flowing. I think it's safe to say we did well. And it's just a case of getting those houses in to hit the population, to be honest. Like, all of it's quite straightforward. It's cool. You can set your own goals, you know. I think it's safe to say we just need to finish off these, though. And look at this, guys. All 5 temples down here and 6. That's all temples done. Ah, oh, this place is good. Nothing would want to attack this right now. We have a stupid army too. Look at this. Love it. All things considered, though, there we are. How many years in are we? 31 years, guys. We've upgraded houses to as far as they go. The farms as far as they go. I know I can push this further. I was just chilling, enjoying it, taking it all in, soaking it all in. I know it's not the most optimized, but it is pretty damn optimal based on what I've done. And like I say, if you are going to play yourself, the best thing you can think of it is make sure you have porters pulling whatever you need, because actually I'm only running off 1 granary here and it does absolutely everything you need if you put porter yards and marketplaces in the correct positions. Guys, thank you for watching this with me. If you are still watching, please go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already. Hit the thumbs up. Do check out the link, please. It really helps me. I'd appreciate it if you could show me some love by checking that link out. As always, though, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.